What's up, guys? Justin here, back with another video, and today I'm going to go over my starts and sits for week 2. And let's jump right in with the quarterback position. Now, there are a handful of good options here, so I'm going to start with the guy you might have just added in Justin Fields. The Bills gave up 29 fantasy points to Lamar Jackson last week, and I'm not saying the Jets are as good as the Ravens or that Fields is as good as Lamar, but this still seems like a good matchup for Justin Fields. Drake May is another guy with a good matchup. The Dolphins might have the worst pass defense in the entire NFL. This team is just so miserable. May put up 16 in an ugly game last week, and I think he could top that in week 2. Dak Prescott played well in week 1, but he didn't produce in a fantasy sense. I expect him to throw a couple touchdowns this week, and he should put up solid numbers against the Giants. Trevor Lawrence is another dude that didn't do much in the fantasy world in week 1, but he plays against a horrid Bengals defense. The Bengals offense should be able to put up points, unlike last week, and this will force the Jaguars offense to look to pass and hopefully score. Justin Herbert is a guy that should likely be on this list every single week moving forward, as long as they keep this pass-heavy approach. He looked absolutely great last week, and as long as they keep throwing the ball, he should be a top 12 fantasy quarterback. Kyler is likely a must-start every week too because of his rushing upside, but I did want to mention him because A, he is not as overpowered as he once was, and B, he has a really good matchup against the Panthers. I think Michael Penix could be a weekly fantasy starter as well, as long as his pass catchers are healthy. The Falcons were very bad at running the ball in week 1, and this could be a season-long issue. They'll look to Penix to throw and run, making him a very solid option. Joe Flacco is a streamer to look at too. The Browns take on a better defense this week in the Ravens, but the Ravens' offense should be able to score, forcing the Browns to pass and look to score themselves. Last guy I want to mention is Aaron Rodgers. He looked very solid last week and could be a common streaming option over the course of the season. Now, there are a few QBs that I'm staying away from this week. Bo Nix did not do much fantasy-wise in week 1, and he plays against a tough Colts defense in week 2. Considering the matchups and the other guys available, I'd stay away from Bo Nix this week. Matt Stafford has a tough matchup against a solid Titans defense. Bo Nix and his scrambling ability didn't do much last week, and with Stafford's lack of scrambling, he needs to score touchdowns. I think there are better options this week. Daniel Jones played very well last week, but he's going up against the Broncos defense this week. He does have some rushing ability, but I think I want to avoid any quarterback playing against the Broncos. These last few guys are guys that I probably don't need to mention, but until further notice, I will not be starting Tua, Cam Ward, Bryce Young, or Spencer Rattler. Moving on to the running back position, Travis Etienne had a dominant week 1 against a bad Panthers defense, and guess what? He takes on another bad defense in the Bengals in week 2. Fire him up. Javonte Williams had a solid week 1, scoring a couple touchdowns. If Jaden Blue is out again, then I feel comfortable starting him against the Giants in a game where the Cowboys may be looking to just run out the clock. Breece Hall is a guy that I was very low on heading into the season. Breece and the Jets proved me absolutely wrong in week 1, and they're taking on a Bills defense that Derrick Henry just shredded. Dylan Sampson just caught 8 balls last week, and if Quinshon Judkins is out, I'm cool with starting Sampson if you need running back help. Flacco is the check down king and may be looking to pass a lot against the Ravens. The last running back I'm looking to start is Trevion Henderson. Again, the Dolphins are so miserable, and this could be Henderson's coming out party. Over to the guys I'm looking to sit, I'm going to start off with the Chiefs running backs. This is a full-on committee. I do not trust either of Pacheco or Hunt until further notice. Maybe Brashard Smith steps up sometime soon, but I'm staying away from that backfield. And there aren't a ton of running backs I hate, but DeAndre Swift is someone I feel less highly about. The Lions' run defense was great against the Packers last week, but Jacobs still ended up with 14 points. If Swift catches a couple balls, he might be okay, but I think there are better options out there. Now, Kenneth Walker is someone that I am very worried about, and I drafted him at the 4-5 turn in a 12-team league, and he is splitting work with Charbonnet and didn't even get the goal line touches in week 1. I might end up starting him because I have to, but I won't feel good about it. There are a good number of wide receivers I do feel good about this week, so let's get right into it. I've started Flacco and Dylan Sampson, so I'm sticking with the Browns and starting their wide receivers. Cedric Tillman and Jerry Jeudy had serviceable games last week, and I'm comfortable starting them against the Ravens. Like Breece, Garrett Wilson was someone that I didn't believe in before the season, but he also proved me wrong. Like I'm starting Breece Hall and Justin Fields, this is a good matchup for him against the Bills. George Pickens could be in for a bounce-back week as he doesn't have to deal with Trayvon Diggs or Deron Bland. Again, Dak looked good last week, so I'm cool with inserting Pickens into lineups. Jakobi Meyers might be the only pass catcher in Las Vegas if Bowers misses Monday. The ball has got to go to someone, and it went to Jakobi often last week. I expect no difference in week 2. Like Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, I am firing up the Jaguars receivers in hopes of a high-scoring game against the Bengals. Emeka Egbuka might be someone that I don't need to mention at all moving forward. He's going to become a household name, and he has favorable matchups in the upcoming weeks. The Bills' wideouts are more guys that I'm cool with starting. The Jets gave up 34 points last week, and I think the Bills can do the same after scoring 40+ against the Ravens. Keenan Allen produced in his first game back in LA, and I think he will continue to do so throughout the season, especially in week 2 against the Raiders. Hollywood Brown saw 16 targets in week 1, and I don't expect that to be the case every week. But like I said in my waiver wire video, someone needs to catch the ball, and Worthy and Royals may miss the game, and Kelsey and Juju are not target vacuums. And like Michael Penix, I am cool with starting Darnell Mooney if he's active. The Falcons should throw the ball often, and the Vikings defense could be a tough challenge, but I think the Falcons offense will still be able to put up fantasy points. As for some of the wide receivers that I'm sitting, I'm starting with Jalen Waddle. I think the Dolphins are miserable, and they take on a solid Patriots defense, but pay attention to see if Christian Gonzalez is active. I'm sitting the Colts wide receivers too. It's possible that a different guy is the main producer each week in that offense, and I think there are better options considering they are going up against a great defense and the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Staying in the same game, I'm benching Marvin Mims. I don't think he has a significant enough role in the offense to get a start, and he could be on this list every single week. The last receiver I'm benching is Cooper Kupp. He is very likely washed, and I have no interest in starting him. On to the final position of the video, the tight ends. I'm good with starting Dallas Goedert against the Chiefs. The Eagles are a run-first team, but the Chiefs have a very good run-stopping defense. Hurts was a check-down merchant in week 1, and Goedert hauled in 7 catches, which I could see happening again in week 2. Now, I know I said I'm staying away from the Colts wideouts, but I am starting Colts tight end Tyler Warren. This guy could be a weekly producer as both a safety valve and a big play threat. Continuing to pick on the Dolphins, I'm starting Hunter Henry. And you've heard this enough, Dolphins equal miserable. Kyle Pitts actually produced in week 1. And if London or Mooney miss time, I am surprisingly comfortable starting him in week 2. As for my sits, I only got 2 here, and Mark Andrews is the main guy as he did not produce in week 1, and I am benching him in week 2. The Ravens could be in a run-heavy game script, so I'm not rolling with Andrews this week. And the other tight end I'm looking to sit is Colston Loveland. He will officially be on this list until anything changes. Cole Kmet looked to be the Bears' preferred option at tight end in week 1, and it could change over the season, but I need to wait to see until it actually happens. Let me know what you guys think and any questions you have in the comments.